Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know we have Team Crystal Chaos with us, guys. First link in the description down below. Let's help the man out, man. He's a member of the channel, and he's been a member forever now, guys. Got to meet him in person. I was like, I need to bring you on the channel because the man knows, just has so much knowledge, so much information to offer to you guys, the masses. So we're gonna go through, what he has to offer. So, guys, vending in Yu-Gi-Oh is a big theme, and I want to, this market watch today just focus on Yu-Gi-Oh vending, and none better to bring on than the man himself from Team Crystal Chaos. Shout out to Dakota, member of the channel. And before he talks, this is how we met, man. I'm gonna just play the video. I've played it in the past, but man, I got the vendor love, man. Vendors love me out there. Let's check this out.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, how's it going, bro?
Yeah. Yo, I'm subscribed to your channel, man, as a thank you. I want to give you this, man, because you made me a lot of money, bro. And I appreciate your content.
No way, bro. First of all, thanks for coming up. And second of all, you serious, bro? Yeah, bro. Yeah, thanks for finding value in what I do, bro. Thank you so much.
These Billy Bobs out here.
Yeah, let's eat. Tell him, Dakota.
Yes,
let's
sir.
eat.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. So welcome in, brother. Tell them who you are, why you're here, why should they subscribe, what's coming, on the channel soon. Let them know, brother.
So yeah, I'm just gonna be bringing some Yu-Gi-Oh content, some vending advice, just the day in the life of a vendor, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I got some deck profiles up. Just uploaded a new video. We started uploading videos probably weekly or so right now. But just want to educate the community a little bit more on Yu-Gi-Oh financial literacy and get these Billy Bobs out of here, man. Come on, what you doing?
Come on,
what
man.
y'all doing out here?
Hey,
Billy Bobbing it up.
Nah, we don't do that. We don't do that, man. We don't do that.
Nah.
So I love it. The man wants to educate. That's the key word, guys. That's what we do here. We educate the masses. We convert Billy Bobs over to us, and shout out to Dakota. Again, I still have the card. Since I met him, just been the same, man. Just the best. And every time I go to the Philly regionals, it's always popping out there. Thanks to the man himself. So yeah, we're gonna get straight to it, man. So Primite Dragon Ether Barrel is definitely a piece of cardboard that Dakota said, guys, we need to focus on this right now. And I'm gonna let him speak, but before we do so, I just wanted to check the card out. We see that volume is coming in thanks to Monster Mayhem, guys, as we can see here. And this chart looks beautiful. 40 listings only is a $31 card. You have a play set here, but then it goes into page 2. And I'm gonna do a chart setup here while Dakota explains, from the vendor's perspective, why should you be focusing on this card? And guys, it's not like, oh, Jay, I don't vend, so why would I need this information and that? Guys, that's the whole point. Dakota's going to be bringing that fresh off the press content, to show you guys, educate the masses that essentially anyone can be a vendor, from a YCS level to a regional level to a local level. You don't have to be a store, and we're going to get into, fresh off the press questions in a bit. But before then, take it over. Why should people be looking at Ether Barrel right now?
Well, we got a potential Fiendsmith track situation here. Can anybody please tell me where in the Monster Mayhem description it said that this card was getting reprinted?
Let's see. Look at that. It says it right there, Dakota, right there. Look at that. Primite Lordly Load. No, just
Lordly Load, right?
Yeah.
Please show me where in that text that it says that Ether Barrel is getting reprinted. I feel like a lot of people are just immediately jumping to the conclusion that, oh yeah, this card is getting reprinted along with it. Who said that card just came out in Suda? That's not an old set by any means right now. It's possible, but I would say get your Ether Barrels now, because if you don't, it's a 3 of. Think about this: it's a 3 of in Blue Eyes, right? It's a 3 of in pretty much any deck that's playing Primite, and we're seeing people mess around with other stuff. Like, you seen that like Dippity combo they're doing with the Fiendsmith lines, man, with Rizio is hilarious. So you look at this, it's like everybody who's going to be buying the Lordly Loads from the new set, as the product comes in,
correct,
people are going to go back to the Ether Barrel and they're going to match that. So this card is going to go off the market. Guys, don't let this card be a 50-piece overnight, like Jay says, man.
Tell him,
don't
man.
let it be a 50-piece.
Don't let it be a 50-piece McNuggies. Tell him, bro.
Show him the
yeah, let's go to the charts, man. Let's go. Yeah, let's go to the listings first. So again, 40 listings right here, only a couple, 4 pages only, man. The card is becoming scarce, just like Dakota said, guys. It's a 30-piece right now. Don't let it go up a $20 bill on you. Don't do that. We don't do that, man. Dakota and me, we eat. We eat when it's cheap. We come in early, and then the charts are basically backing up his claims, guys. As you can see here, this is a wedge pattern formation forming right here. No one pays attention to these charts. Only people like Dakota, only people like smart people that are looking at these, nuances. We see the volume spike coming up thanks to Mayhem. Guys, it's a 3 of, like Dakota said, and these formations, usually they coil up and then boom, then they spike up. We expect 45s to 50s across the board, as we can see here. Dakota ain't pulling this out of his... No, he's not. He's coming to the charts. He's using probabilities to his advantage, and he's making the plays, guys, because the game is too easy. From a vendor's mentality, this is a card that he would be looking at on the floor to pick these up, at 25s for trades. If he could pick these up, anything under 30s is a steal, because right now a play set is 90s, 100s, but then these could easily be 150s, and no one would be surprised. You do have the higher end, and I wanted to ask you a question as a vendor. Again, Primite Dragon, Ether Barrel, Quarter Century Secret Rare. This card was 135, spiking up to 167s, and you have a couple of one-ofs, and then it starts to go up to 185s to 200s. So as a vendor, are you looking for these high-end cards? Do you take advantage of them if people come to you with deals, trying to move these low liquidity cards and things of that nature, or do you just focus on the $30 ones? Like, what's your preference? What's the mindset with a card like this?
Well, I think it comes down to how vendors look at cards. Me personally, I like the mid-range stuff. I like the stuff that sells easy. The other ether barrels, the lower rarities, because they're gonna sell. If I can come across higher rarity ones and I get the right price on them, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all for it, because these cards do move to the right audiences. And you gotta really diversify. You gotta have a lot of different types of cards, because you can't just sit on one type of thing. You have collectors, you got people who just need staples to play the game, want high-end stuff. So you gotta get around a little bit and get different types of cards. But I look at this type of stuff, these more higher end cards, as YCS pickups, or regional pickups, because you can move them the same day. People are willing to spend more money at regionals than as they would during a normal day of the week. They come over, they check out my cards. Nobody's trying to drop $150 midweek when they got filled, But they go to a YCS, they go to a regional, just like the Philly regional coming up.
Yeah, they're ready there to
they're
spend,
ready to shell out their pockets, man. They're looking. They're looking. So
okay. All
so
right.
I look at it like if I can get it, I'll hold it. I'll list it. I'll list it online, but it's more of a card I would be looking at it at a YCS or a bigger tournament. But
at a higher tier.
But it's definitely got room to grow too.
For sure.
They don't reprint QCR, so if you want to get it now.
Great assessment, man. Talking about diversification, just selling to different audiences and crowds, trading to them, man, depending on the level, region, and YCS, man. Guys, that's why you need to make sure, first link in the description down below, subscribe to the man. He's going to start with fresh off the press vending content, guys. And we're going to talk about the negative connotation that goes into vending in just a moment. And we want to clear the air up, guys, because, we can all decide to make a living with the hobby in a sense, or maybe as a side income as well. Why not? Because we already have the passion for the cardboard end of it. We can find some Billy Bobs, and eat good. Why not? That's the mindset. So we move on to Super Poly, guys. Super Polymerization. This is a card that Dakota wanted to highlight, specifically the PUR version. As we can see here, this PUR used to be 3 bones going up to 650s. Usually people PUR is not our favorite rarity. We don't really care. But people forget it's still a prismatic from these rarity collections. There's Platinum Secrets, PCRs, and then you have PURs as well. And as we can see here, volume coming in with a massive volume candle. The card is pushing 8 bones, 7 listings only. At the bottom of the page, a couple of one-ofs, and the card is a 20-piece already. So we have 1 page only. So, why is this happening? Should people still be picking these up? Should they focus on one of the other rarities as well? What is your thought process on Super Polymerization?
Something I've noticed recently is that PCRs and PURs are a weird mid-max specific rarity that you don't really see them as much as the plats now. So you have these mid-range nice luxury rare super polys and staples, and these tend to age really well over time, especially as the rarity collections kind of phase out. You don't see Bonanza anymore. Bonanza is Stampede everywhere. So cards like Super Poly, the listings aren't that high. Everybody's got the ultras and the secrets and even the higher end ones, but the mid-range ones, you don't see these no more. You rarely see these, and when you do, they're worth grabbing because they're a very specific rarity that isn't just out there everywhere. It's not like people have stacks of PURs and PCRs, be like one over here, two over there.
That's a
So if you
great
see them, get them. I mean, you look at the listings, man. One person could go on TCG Player and buy them out right now and push the card to $20.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Literally.
I had the idea. I thought about it a little bit. I was like, man, I could buy this card up and double my value, man. So there's somebody out there that sees that deal right now. That $8 one could quickly be 14. You know what I'm saying? Could be $20.
That's insane.
So,
you know, yeah, I like
it's
it.
that low of listings. It's crazy.
I like it. You know, the code again, coming from the vending mentality in the sense, if you can see a 2X like these are scarce to get. You know, you jump on these. Again, of course, it would have been a way better to get these at 3s. You know, the volume is coming in now. The card is already up 2X from the lows, but these are scarce, lower listings for the PURs than the PCRs, as we can see here, guys. And look, 3 bones spiking up to double digits for the PCRs, and even the platinum secrets now are starting to run. This card was $8, $9, $10 forever. Now you see all-time highs at 15s, pushing 25s at the bottom of the page after a couple play sets at 20s, 8 listings. So people coming for their super polys, man. There's extreme demand right now. Man. Yeah. There's extreme demand for these cards. Make sure you get access to your super polys. Even the lower end penny stocks could also go up in price. So, and even commons, man, could be $5 and beyond. So listen to the coda, get exposure to these, especially focus on prismatics and not just super poly, just overall, you know, a thought process that, again, as a vendor, someone that is out there hunting for cards, you want to hunt for cards that are going to get more scarce, cards that are prismatics, luxury rares, they're going to get hard to get, and that people, they always have that high demand for these cards. So, you know, great assessment on this one, and don't sleep on cards like these. Guys, first link in the description down below. We're going to have all these cards here for you guys to track, fast track each and every single card that we're talking about today, in case you need to buy, you know, a card like the one that we just talked about. And don't forget, we have our 9.25K giveaway. We have Mr. Thornton here with a playset, Blue Eyes First Ed, OT, and shout out to Dank Ritual and Spicy Hot Games for, you know, the border sleeves and the mat. So make sure you participate by being subscribed to the channel. Don't miss out. So again, just subscribe, ring that bell, like the video, make sure you get exposure to the giveaway. And we have a next giveaway as well. We have giveaways anywhere. Shout out to John, man. Look at John with a tattoo. Yo, that's insane. He was like, Jay, I'm already in. You know, I'm in the giveaway. So make sure you come here with John. You know, make sure you get exposure to this giveaway in the link, you know, down below. Just come over here, follow, like, and retweet. And this is a full play set of quarter century secret rares and then Billy Bob's. If you don't have your copy yet, don't miss out. Even Dakota already has a collection of these. So make sure you join the boat just like Dakota himself. So this is his personal pick right here. Shout out to Dakota. He's been focusing on Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. You know, when we went to YCS Providence, it was a hell of experience, you know, out there with Dakota. It was super fun. And he was like, Jay, I need to pick up Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, man. You know, the next format is going to be a hot card right now. These are dollars. You know, you can trade for these at shekels. And, you know, in the future, these super rares that are still at dollars and have walls of China, they could be 2s, 3s, 5s down the line if the format gets hot and everyone is using this card in the meta. So let's just start with his personal pick. Again, from Rarity Collection 2, from the Lost and Forgotten Rarity Collection, you can see here that the volume came in from Mayhem. There's still a couple walls right here, so it's readily available still, as it should. It's a super rare. But again, that doesn't mean that it'll always maintain this price. So Dakota, why were you picking these up left and right at your last event, and why should people be getting exposure to this card, even at super rares with current walls of China right here?
Well, as far as I know, this card is like double dipped in like support. So from what I understand is people are playing this in Draco Tail or Dragon Tail, whatever that deck is.
Okay.
And then that Dark Magician card came out, and essentially like one Ready Fusion becomes a Dragoon. That's like, that is insane to me. Like, you're telling me like I can pay 1,000, or I don't even know if it pays 1,000. Ready Fusion is like nothing. You know, you activate one spell and it's like summon Dragoon. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, right here, what is this, bro?
Yeah, you're right. You were correct. Pay 1,000. Special sandwich.
Sandwich of all cards.
It? Like, yeah, it's around there. Sandwich.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They're memeing us out here, bro, playing Sandwich. Just tribute the Sandwich off for the new Dark Magician, get the Tamias, and then just make Dragoon. That's like, that is just, but that's crazy to me, honestly. I don't know how. This game's crazy. No. One card Dragoon is out here, man.
Insane. Jeez. That's what a lot of people are getting ready. But yeah, go ahead.
The thing is, it's just like a double dip. So you got these people that are coming in for the Dragoons. They need them for the, you know, their Draco Tail deck. And then you got the Dark Magician players. And just with that amount of volume, you're just going to see this card getting spammed and everything at some point. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it got banned down the line because of that easily getting into a Dragoon. Crazy. But there's going to be a format when people need it. So I'll get ahead of the curve now. My picks would be like slightly higher than this one. You know, the PCRs, PURs, those ones. But get your luxury rares now, man, because they're still relatively cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to play with some dingy ultra, go ahead, be my guest. But
dingy,
it gets the
that
job done, right?
word. Hey, we're on the budget out here, man. We broke, man. My wallet's destroyed with all these rarity collections, man. I can only afford an ultra. Loved it, man. But yeah, you know what Dakota wants to say, and Dakota's words is basically, essentially, just pick up all versions across the board. PURs, this is the ultra rare at around $1. Beautiful, right there at $1. Beautiful. You got the supers. You have a couple here at shekels. Then it does go towards $1. Easy peasy. Dollars becoming multiple dollars. You have the secret rares here. Massive volume candle. Hundreds of copies being sold here. Post Monster, not Monster Mayhem, but the Mayhem event here on TCG Player. You have a couple 1-ofs here, and then it quickly goes to 4s and eventually 5s and beyond. And then you have the PCR pushing 650s. Look at that parabolic curve, an advanced move right here at 650s. You have a couple 1-ofs, a playset here and there, and then it starts hitting 8s, 9s, double digits, 25 listings going low. So as you can see, these cards are becoming scarce. We just saw with Super Poly the PUR did after the other one started moving. Don't sleep on Dragoon. Make sure you get exposure to any version. Look, even the prismatics are $5. This could easily be a 10 bones right there, 10 piece McNuggies from Mickey D's as well. So at the end of the day, this is Dakota's personal pick, especially the budget version right there. So make sure you guys get that proper exposure. And look, even the Platinum Secrets, these hit 17s. I was able to actually unload my copy at 17s, and now it's back down to 10. So no better time to get this retracement right here if this is the particular version that you want to get access to. And then here we have Dakota's, pick in the sense of staples. You know, I asked Dakota, what staple do you think that people need to get their hands on? But before we get to the staple and his thought process with Forbidden Droplets, I just wanted to take a moment and just ask him a question or two, of vending as we, discuss these cards. So I'm gonna just talk about, why do you think vending in Yu-Gi-Oh has just such a negative connotation? You hear the masses, vendors are sharks. They're here, to pay 50% and 60%, and they want to, just destroy me and nuke me out and leave me without cards. And why would I even go to a vendor? I shouldn't even consider a vendor, especially at regionals or at a high level or locals. I'm gonna just go to TCG Player, this and that and the third, and just a lot of myths, and this and that. What do you think as a vendor yourself? And that's, his channel is gonna be predicated in converting that thought process and educating the masses on how it's done from the back end so people can understand. But just give us a glimpse of what's to come in your thought process when it comes to that.
So yeah, I think that it's weird because they'll take them to stores and juice themselves for like 40-50%, but if a guy with like a backpack wants to buy it for less, it's kind of like a big deal. Not everybody has a store, you know what I'm saying? So we don't all have brick and mortar stores, but we still try and make our money, you know what I'm saying? We still have to, the reason we're buying the cards is because we need to make money on them, right? We're not just buying random cards just to sit on them, right? But yeah, I think there's the negative connotation has kind of come from people just being like, who's this guy with a backpack who thinks he can just buy my cards at whatever he wants? Right. And that's just kind of where it's at. I think this is like really blown up on like Zodiac Duelists on like Facebook and stuff. Okay. It's just like people on there and like people that aren't accustomed to selling at a percentage are just like, no, I want retail. Like I know TCG Player, the cards worth $5, give me $5, or you're trying to scam me essentially. But I'll get into more later about why the vending is actually good. So that's just for the negative connotation right now.
Right. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, we'll get into more questions. But yeah, he makes a great point when it comes to vending. And there's people out there, yeah, that's a great point. If you don't have a brick and mortar, that doesn't mean that you can't educate yourself, purchase certain cards. And at the end of the day, it's all about need. If you need to come up to a vendor and you want that green and you need that cash and he's willing to offer it to you and where he benefits off it as well, it is what it is. It is life, and not everyone is forced to go to vendors or to stores for that matter. But sometimes, if you can get the right amount and you feel like it's a good deal for you at that time, then it is what it is. So I believe that, again, not to say that in that some people maybe don't overdo it or they go in an excess or they just undercut someone too much. We're humans, it's gonna happen. But in general, just because someone has a backpack, if the deal is right, it doesn't matter if it's a store, if it's a backpack vendor, a buddy of yours, the card has the value it has, you agree, you negotiate, and you move on forward. So I believe that's a great point that you make. And just on top of that, if people see vending vending or vendors as scummy or greedy. You know, how do you personally get around that perception? You know, like if you're at locals, you know, and they, he vends, you know, he vends, he's greedy, he's scummy, or this and that and the third. How do you flip that mindset to the point where you offer people deals where they're happy with it? You know, because most people that deal with you are probably positive, you know, ends up in a positive experience. So, you know, how do you manage that perception, like, oh, vendors are scummy? So, you know, because it's hard to vend. People probably, they're like, I'm not gonna go into vending. You know why? Because they're gonna think I'm a scammer. No, like, how do you deal with that?
So a lot of times it's like you gotta just really give people deals. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if I have like a couple $1 card and I don't see nothing from, I'll just be like, you can have it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, be the type of person who like gives deals. Don't trade at a percentage either. Like, I see a lot of vendors trading at percentages, and I get what people are saying about the backpack thing, right? When it comes to that, right? If you have a store, I get that, right? You can trade at a percentage, but there is a level that they're right to that sense of like being like, oh yeah, who is this guy with a backpack? When we trade, everything's even. It's retail for retail, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not above you, you're not above me, but when cash comes into the deal, a lot of times when I'm making an offer on somebody, like, yeah, I could pay this amount, right? They're gonna be like, oh, well, you know, it's not 85% or whatever they want. I'm just like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to keep it, that's cool. Don't make it a problem.
Exactly.
Just be like, yeah, man, it's like, I understand, but I'll just tell them, you know, I can't make money off of it.
Literally.
And you just be transparent. So it's like, I have no reason to buy it at that point. Like, I won't make anything.
Great
and a lot of times people are like, yeah, I get it, I understand. But then you have people out there that are just like, why are you not trying to sell me this, man? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, oh, what are you not gonna get more? And they get all salty about it. And it's like, bro, it's a $5 card. Relax. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta really just be like, you gotta explain to people and just be like, yo, bro, like, I just can't make anything. There's no reason for me to buy it at that point. And sometimes they'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go see if somebody else wants it. And probably most of the time, people just come back to you later, like, yeah, bro, I'll just take your deal, because they walked around. They shopped some big card and they wanted like 85%, 90% on it, and they didn't get it. So they came back. They're like, yeah, I'll just take what you're offering. And then you're like, cool. And then you just take them back with open arms, man. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And you just foster those good relationships, and they keep coming back. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You want to keep a good customer base and just be cool with people too.
There we go.
It should never be looked at as like, oh yeah, like these people owe me something, because they don't. You know?
No, I mean, that you just made a great point. It has to make sense for both parties. You need to make money off it. The person wants cash. They want green, for example. Obviously not on the floor, guys. We're talking about like meeting with people outside a venue, or, you know, or at home. You have a buddy, he wants to move cards, he comes to you, and things of that nature. Because like Dakota said, if it's on the floor, it's about trading at equal retail value, guys. But again, that's the thought process, and that's the mindset. If you can negotiate, you can make it work for both parties. At the end of the day, if someone says yes, is because maybe they need the green, you know, on hand per se, rather than trying to trade it away or trying to get another deal somewhere else. So at the end of the day, that's my conclusion. If it works for both parties, then you both can move on and, you know, live a happily ever after life per se. So again, we have Forbidden Droplet. We're going to talk about this and then get to a couple more questions down the line. Again, Droplet is the staple of the moment for Dakota right here. So Dakota, why do you think that Forbidden Droplet is a card that people should be looking at? Maybe it's a card that you get, retains certain value right now, or maybe it can go up, and all of these could be 15s and plus, like Thrust, you know, went about it. So what do you think about Forbidden Droplet as a staple right now from the vendor's mentality? If you see this in a binder, are you picking these up? What's the thought process?
I actually like what you just said about Thrust, because I feel like this is the rarity 1 version of Thrust. You know, people need them in 3s. They always hold value. You never really see this card below like $8. Like when it's below $8, like it's always like above 8. Like every time it's been reprinted so many times over and over and over again. The card is stupid, honestly. You know, you have all these 1-card combo decks out here that don't really need all these extra pieces, so they just do this. You know, drop a few cards. Who cares? I stole my full combo. I would say like right now everything's a lot more hand trap focused, but this card is definitely like will see its time in the meta again. You know what I'm saying? Like these cards are gonna see their time. They're staples. They're insane. You know, and they just age well in the game. You know, like another card like Evenly Matched. Like people always come back to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always the same thing. These staples, they hold they hold a place in the game. They age well, and Droplet is one of those cards. You know.
There we go. I mean,
and while we're here, I think we should take a look at that QCR evenly, which is
let's see it, man. Let's pull it up right here. Yeah, look at that.
It's
40 bones.
I don't
40
know,
bones.
$40 seems kind of cheap, man.
Okay.
It's kind of cheap for a staple like that. People forget it, man.
Yeah, hey, when they
You know
forget, we
what I'm saying?
remember,
People forget.
man. They forget that evenly
Yes, sir.
match exists. Oh, we're not using right now in the side deck. The card sucks. And then when everyone needs it, they all rush in at the same time. They buy tops. They FOMO in. And again, smart people are buying this consolidation for this QCSR evenly matches. And again, same deal. Platinum Secrets at 5s. You got PURs at 4s. You got PCRs at under 5s. Again, these can age very, very well. These can all three be up 2x. No one would be surprised. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, I mean, it's evenly matched. Of course it is. So now you need to pick it up when there's blood in the streets, when there's lack of interest, when no one's paying attention to the card. Dakota is highlighting this card for you guys. And again, like he says, you know, when we talk about vending here, guys, you can use that same mindset. It doesn't have to be about cash in the green. You can use that trade-wise. Like, okay, yo, damn, vendor would be looking into this card. Yo, maybe I could go to locals. Man, that one random kid has evenly matched. Let me trade for it. So it's all about the mindset. It's all about the mentality of cards and staples to be on the lookout for. Same as Forbidden Droplet. You can see this was $7-8 recently, going parabolic right here into the 12s and 13s and beyond, guys. 2 pages only. Was that 2 or 3 pages only? 24 listings. So again, people coming in for their droplets quietly. No one's paying attention to these staples because everyone's focusing on Stampede and Allen right now and the meta and the latest and greatest, and people forget about these rarity collection staples that you definitely need to keep on your radar and need to keep in mind. And then just talking a tad bit about Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem, we did mention it when it came to Ether Barrel and the possibility of it coming and getting reprinted here is not likely, like Dakota said, but you do never know. If it doesn't come reprinted here as currently expected, everyone's going to be rushing for loads, and then they're like, oh man, I need my Ether Barrel. So that's why we think it's a great pickup. But you know, in general, Orcust is getting support inside this set, you know, and a lot of people have forgotten about that. Everyone's focusing on the current meta. They're forgetting that this comes before Nats, and it can actually help shape Nat season heading into the biggest event of the year. So yeah, you mentioned that you wanted people to keep these cards in mind as they've forgotten some of these Orcust cards. So what should they be looking at right now?
Yeah, I mean, I like the OTS supers. There's this thing in my locals, man, that like nobody ever moves Orcust cards, and it's crazy. Like, it's like this thing. It's almost like a joke. And if they're watching this video and they know who they are, I hope they are, man. They're gonna be Billy Bobbing out here. But yeah, there's this running gag that like people just don't move Orcust cards, and yeah, I don't know why. It's just because they hold on to them. They've had their core since it was good. But
okay,
the thing is, if any of these like little pieces miss the mayhem, you know, I feel like they would go crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like people come in. You got to think about supply and demand, right? It's like people want their max rarity Orcust stuff. It's a fan favorite deck. Like in the OCG, I know like there was one point when like Blue Eyes and Orcust were like the best decks, and we've seen it Blue Eyes explode, right? We've seen Blue Eyes explode when the stuff came out. I feel like it's fell off a little bit since it came out because the initial hype fell off a little bit, but Orcust, when these cards come out, this support, man, they're gonna be playing this deck. You're gonna see this everywhere. So if I wouldn't go crazy on them, my philosophy isn't like go crazy on like super nightmares or anything. And obviously I'm talking about all these besides like the harp horrors because I feel like they're kind of like bulky right now.
Right.
But you know, you see like Symbol Skeleton and Nightmare, the little pieces that, and even like the QCRs of the Dingirasu and like any of the other QCRs, yeah, those Galatea, these cards could go crazy. So I would be more like in line with like grabbing the higher rarity ones because they seem like they would age well and people want the ultis. But those little ones, man, I would have like a set of them just in case, because if one of them miss, those Nightmares not in that card would be like $10. Watch.
Literally. Yeah. Yeah, great call. I mean, this is a free 3x.
Babel too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the where is it? It's not even here, but yeah, the feel spell. Yes, that's a great point. Yeah. So again, Nightmare, Skeleton, Babel,
Crescendo.
Crescendo, all these super
Only
rares.
has one turning.
Look at that, one printing. So we don't know. We don't know what's getting reprinted or not. We assume that some of these or most of these or maybe all of them. We don't know, right? But if they miss one, that one move can pay for all the other moves you made and even more. So again, if you see these in a trade binder or whatever, or you want to get exposure, that is the correct word. You come in here and make sure that you keep these cards in mind. And then obviously the ones that came in Bonanza right here and in the Rarity Collection 1, these QCSRs, people are going to want matching rarities, in their extra decks, and people forget. They forget this card came out in quarter century. They're like, oh, I'll pick it up later. Look, it's crashing down now from the previous highs right here. Nothing too crazy, but it's down $4 or $5. So, but it's kept up here. Why? Because the demand is here. This could be double bottoming right here before attempting to break the previous high and go into the 20s and 30s, guys. So don't sleep on it. Same for Galatea. I cannot believe this card is still $11. Literally crashing back down to the scene of the crime after, we can see that it's spiked. Yeah, and the support is just around the corner. So when they forget, we remember. There's still a couple of weeks left before the hype should really hone in on this deck that can literally come out and directly impact the current meta right before that season. So make sure you listen to Dakota when it comes to those cards. So before we get into Dragon Rulers, guys, I wanted to ask this to Dakota. Can someone start vending Yu-Gi-Oh cards with almost no money? If so, what would you recommend they do first if they're like, you know what, I want to get into the vending game? Not the negative connotation, being a shark and undercutting people. No, just negotiating. This is what I do. I want to go to the local scene. If people need a card, I give them to them, or vice versa. If they need green, or I need green for a certain card. If people just have that mindset, and when we say locals, not all locals accept vending inside, guys, but you know what we mean is where it's accepted, or maybe outside. It doesn't have to be at locals or at any Yu-Gi-Oh event, but you guys can meet and then discuss that, in your own due time later on another day or whatnot. But again, what's the mindset that someone has to have? I'm on a budget right now. I don't know what to do. I want to get into the vending game, or at least I want to have my trade spot on. Like, what should I be looking to do right now?
Well, if somebody was going to go about buying and selling, they need to have some way to sell the cards that's not just in person. So before you even think about dropping money, get a TCG player account, Facebook, whatever, however you have a way to sell the cards reliably, that's what I would say. Do that. Now, the thing that I would ask is, like, the question is, you say, can somebody start with no money? Do you have cards? That's the question. If you have no cards, that's one thing. You have a deck, you have everybody has some value in their cards, and cards are currency, right? So if you're going in with the mentality of like, yeah, I don't have any money to start, you do have money to start. You have a collection. You probably have cards that are sitting in boxes that have dust on them. Go through your bulk. You know what I'm saying? Watch the channel, man. Watch Jay.
Yeah,
watch
easy money. Easy money,
you know
man.
What I'm saying?
Let them know.
So you gotta educate yourself on your bulk, because I'm sure you got a ton of bulk. People have bulk. They put their cards away, they leave them, and they just have random $100 cards sitting in their bulk. They don't even know.
That's wild.
But the thing that's very important is, if you do have the money and you have the mentality of not wanting to spend money, you are not going to be successful as a vendor. You will not be successful. The biggest thing I would ever tell somebody if they ever want to get in this, do not be afraid to spend money. Whatever money you have that's extra, spend it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're investing it. We're buying at a percentage because we know we're going to get a percentage of that profit, like 20, 25%, right? So however much money you put into it is how much money you're going to make. So if you're already going to it with like a scared mentality of like, oh, I don't want to pull my money out. First off, sell on TCG player, figure out like how you're going to get the materials, all that type of stuff.
Right.
And just sell little stuff. Sell 5-cent cards if you have to. Get your store up. See that it works. Right. Then start showing out some bread. Okay. Start showing out some cash. Buy everything you see in front of you, and don't stop. You know what I'm saying? People need money. Everybody needs money. If you got it and they got cards, it works for both sides. Yeah. So my philosophy on it is, do not be afraid to spend money, because you will make more money. Scared money don't make money. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. At the end of the day, drop the mic, guys. If you need to learn how to sell, most people probably don't know, but we actually have a guide, a very basic general guide on how to set up your shop here for TCG players. So that's the first step. First step, get your feet wet. There's a lot of people that I see binders, and I'm like, yo, look at these cards. They're like, yeah, man, I want to move it. I don't know what to do with it, and it's there, but no one wants to pick it up, and I don't know what to do, and this and that and the third. And they could just be listing these cards on TCG player, making that extra cash to get cards that they want. that same person tells me, that same Billy Bob, yo, but I'm looking for X, Y, and Z. So then again, if you can't trade it in person, you go and you list it online, you get that cash and you reinvest it either in things that you need for yourself or recycle that purchasing power like we always say on the channel. So I love that answer. So there you go, guys. And again, before we get into Dragon Rulers, just real quick, what do you think is the biggest number one mistake Yu-Gi-Oh vendors make that kills their credibility or profits, and how would you avoid that?
So I would say just not making relationships with people.
Networking,
You know,
okay.
just looking at people as like they owe you something, and just being like, oh, they have cars, give them to me, and then I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Ooh,
You know, it's kind of an art, man. It's like you got to be like a people person. You know, you got to really make connections with people, make them want to come back to you, make them see you at an event, and be like, hey man, what's up? Like, I remember you, bro. Like, you give me a good deal on this stuff. Or you know what I'm saying? Just don't be a douchebag, man. Don't act like the world owes you something. So just that's one of the main things, man. It's like you really want to you want to make good connections with people. Just be very respectful and really be like a respectable person as well, right? Like don't give people handshakes with your hand on, like, you know what I'm saying, like flop. You gotta have a firm handshake,
right,
man.
right. Those are the little things, like, man. Yeah.
Be a respectable type of person, right? Like send people the money promptly. Don't like say I'm gonna send it later or like play games with them. Send them the money right away, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing is like people. Some people out here just they want to like get over on people. We're not looking to get over on people. We're trying to get cars, but we also want to compensate as well.
Yeah.
Make sure that your brand is a brand that people can trust, and it's not like you're just like doing it just to make money off of them, because it needs to be more than that.
Yeah, I mean, integrity at its finest. Again, it can't just literally be about the money-making process. It's all about networking, making connections, and just in the sense where you benefit moving off cards, you know, they can also benefit with either the money that they get for the cards that they move, or vice versa, maybe the cardboard that they pick up from you. So at the end of the day, it's all about mutual benefits, guys. It's all about everyone, you know, benefiting from any and all transactions, guys. It's not about, you know, sharking people or undercutting people or, you know, taking advantage of people. No, it's all about two parties working things out, and if you both benefits, then you both live with those results. And again, just like we said, guys, a disclaimer before Dakota takes over, is not about, you know, vending where it's not allowed. It's, you know, in environments where it's allowed, be it in your private environment, at home, outside venues, or at venues like locals that do accept that, guys. This is a disclaimer because people like to mix things up and be like, oh, you know, so you're vending in here, you shouldn't be. No, it's none of that. You know, we know the rules, we understand the disclaimers, we understand, you know, that a store has their own right to allow vending or not. And then obviously in Konami sanctioned event, no vending, no selling and buying. It's all about trading. So like Dakota said, you come back home with the trades that you pick up and you list them on TCG Player so that you can benefit and recycle that purchasing power. So you had a last thought before we get to Dragon Rulers?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right, so there we go. Dragon Rulers. Why are we talking about Dragon Rulers? Because before the fact that this is currently Dakota's favorite deck, Spectral is actually making moves. Spectral Dragon Ruler of Flickers. This card, V-Shape Recovering, it was a 50 piece not too long ago, is V-Shape Recovering up to 75 bones, single-digit listings at 9 listings only. We got to see them Spectrals, man. We got to see them shiny blings, them pieces of cardboard, man. You need to find it for us, because this card pretty soon...
I'm going to look for it right now.
Look at it.
I got it right here.
Pretty soon after that 7 wall of China 75s, you're a rich man. The card goes to 150s and then 175s. And I know you like, you know, your Dragon Rulers are your favorite, but damn, I mean, I think you got to be more addicted to the green if the card reaches 150. You know, as a vendor man, what do you think about, look at that. Ooh, man. Yeah, fresh off the press.
Like
let them know. Man. Let them know. So what would you do, man? You picked it up at 50s because the game is too easy, or 40s, knowing you. And then what would you do if the card is 150s, 175, 200s?
If this card is 150, we're rocking and rolling with the foreign ultras, my guy.
Okay, there we go. You see, he has the plan because he's addicted more to the green than to the brown.
We don't need it, bro. It's not worth it. It'll drop eventually. I'm good.
There we go. So that's the mindset with Spectral. But yeah, how about Dragon Rulers in general? Should people be on the lookout? You know, you have the ultras here crashing down from the highs of 11s. It is curving into consolidation at, you know, 4 or 5s right here. Quickly goes to 6s and beyond. So do you think this one ages well? Maybe Dragon Rulers come back into the meta fray in the future. Maybe they get more support. Like, what do you think? What's the standing on Dragon Rulers right now, being played with Tempai as well? What's your thought process?
I mean, I love this deck. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of fun. It's like playing 2014 with like some upgrades, but Uh, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the deck is just in a really bad spot right now in the
Okay.
meta, just because everybody is on Lancia and Droll, and it just like hurts.
Right.
But the thing is, this is a fan favorite deck. I do feel the love for the deck myself, so I understand. And I think that Alliance Insight is kind of a terrible set, to be honest with you.
A lot of
Just
people
from a
think the same
standpoint
thing.
of of value.
Yes.
Something has to age well over time. If the secrets
Hey,
aren't it, then
great
I'd
point.
say like people are gonna look at the Dragon Rulers and be like, "Hey, Spectral is nutty. That card is like a 1 card combo, or 1.5. You know, you discard another dragon or something with it."
Right.
And the thing that people don't realize, I don't know, if you haven't played this deck, Dragon Ruler can summon any card in the game that's summonable off of, like, that's not, like, restricted behind, like, you can normal summon or set or whatever, or you can't special summon this except, you can send Christia to the graveyard with Chasma and then Reborn on your opponent's turn. It has so much, it's stupid. Like, you can send Christia, Spell Canceller, like, you name it. You know what I'm saying?
Wild.
Like, it equals any floodgate from 2 Dragon Rulers. So, my thing is, like, if I can send any monster to the graveyard and summon it on my opponent's turn, that's kind of nutty. So that I feel like that once people figure out how to break that's gonna be nutty. And I don't know why you people out here are playing Dragon Rules or aren't playing Disaster. You're crazy. That card is stupid.
Right here,
I don't know if you've read this card. That card is actually insane.
Yeah.
If you're not playing it, you're wild for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Like,
if you manage to banish all monsters your opponent's field and graveyard with the same attribute, and probably by then it'll have a million attributes attached to it.
Yep.
So yeah, it's insane, guys. I mean, Dragon Rulers, I like the support now. It'll be a question if it's getting future support or not to maybe break it even more like into the actual meta in the future with the core set later on this year. You never know. Konami might give it another wave of support. That would be crazy. But definitely a good. Again, that's a great point about. Value. Again, a set comes out, Alan, even hair is dropping, everything is crashing. There's not a lot of value. Value needs to be retained somewhere, somehow, once the set gets hard to get. And Dragon Rulers are a fan favorite forever, for eternity in Yu-Gi-Oh! So definitely, great. I picked up a place at a Nebulous for like 50 cents. I'm like, ultra rare. It's a Dragon Ruler card. Why not? So again, if they're really cheap, doesn't hurt to get exposure to some of these cards. So definitely you made a great point with regards to those cards. Guys, link in the description down below. Come over here, join our Discord or our X here for the giveaways, and also $15 off over there on Whatnot. Make sure you don't miss out. And again, we've been picking his brain today. Team Crystal Chaos right here. Shout out to my guy Dakota. You want to make sure you tune in. You want to make sure you subscribe. Let's get this man to triple digits right here, because he's gonna start pumping out videos about vending, just questions that you guys have, just the day in the life, the thought process, and just flipping that negative mindset and connotation with regards to vendors, educating the masses, and just putting people on. So again, you want to make sure you tune in, make sure you subscribe, give the man a shot. He knows what he's talking about, as he has displayed here today, and more of that coming very, very soon. And again, don't forget, we continue to grow with our subscriber count, on our way to 10K, guys. We continue to just, be fresh off the press, just like the channel. So make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, like the video as we continue to grow towards our goal. And I appreciate each and every single one of you guys tuning in. Make sure you get exposure to our giveaways, our 9.25K giveaway coming soon. And again, none of this content is official financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. So now we move on to dinos. One thing that I like about Dino, and the fact that Dakota wanted to bring this up, is that no one's paying attention to dinos right now. Dino is one banless move away from like being in the meta. If Mist ever goes to 3, and in some cases even to 2, playing the Dino engine, with other decks or things of that nature, this deck can come out of nowhere. I mean, I remember when Dinos was topping and no one expected it. Still topping at regionals, even with Mist to 1 and things of that nature. So again, don't sleep on Dinos overall. We're gonna touch base on a couple of quarter century Stampede cards mainly that came out. So just in general, why should people be looking at dinos, picking up OV Raptors? Me, I'm picking up the Platinum Secret Rares at dollars. I got me some Euro prints, beautiful. So why should people be picking this card up left and right, in your humble opinion?
I mean, look at how hard these are to pull, man. Like, I was trying to find my max rarities, man. Like, it just took so long. Like, I was convinced Baby Ceratosaurus QCR didn't exist because I did not see it anywhere. I was looking every day, every week. I'm like, where is this card at? And the scarcity of them, man. It's like it's so hard to pull these QCRs out of like the slots. You see so many of the plats, but the QCRs are hard to find, man. And dinosaurs are definitely a fan favorite archetype. Definitely my favorite deck of all time. It's the deck I topped with PPG back in the day with them, man.
Okay.
Deck is nice. Misk needs to go to 3. So if anybody at Konami's watching this now, please put that card back to 3 so I can cook my locals again.
Yeah, right there. Look at that. Look at that. The man is gonna start cooking right there with this card at 3.
Man.
You know, as you can see, $6.50 right here. You know, $5 was the low. It's pumping up to $6.50s. Quickly goes to 9s at the bottom of the page. So miscellaneous Saurus, you can pick them up now at single digits before they come back to 2 or to 3. And then baby Ceratosaurus, like the Dakota just said, this card, I mean, you see it here consolidating between 14 and 15s, but a lot of 1-ofs, man. The card is more scarce than what you would think. You do see 43 listings, but again, people need multiples of these, and these are hard to get, so you definitely want to make sure to get exposure to the babies. And then Oviraptor being the main, you know, level 4 monster. This card was 15s forever, you know, 15s in the low to mid-teens, and now you wake up and they're a 20-piece, man. 17 listings only. They're a $20 bill. Quickly go up to 25 bones. Only 2 pages left, guys. So again, just like the Coda said, you know, it's a fan favorite deck archetype. A lot of people love dinos, and they bring back great memories. And yeah, these are not as easy to get as you would think. So again, getting exposure to these dinos now, I mean, this one's already $5, but this could be a 30 to 40 piece. No one would be surprised. You're like, yeah, you need it at 3. It's Oviraptor, it's the main piece. So again, make sure you get exposure. And then you do have the Platinum Secrets, as you see with baby Ceratosaurus here. Card, you know, at shekels. Some people paying, you know, over $1. As you can see, a lot of people paying over $1 for a card that had walls at shekels. And yeah, again, these shekel cards, dollar cards could be 2s, 3s down the line without you noticing it. Same goes for Oviraptor being the main piece. I mean, this is too cheap, man. This card, you have walls here at 93 cents from Shekel Sibilis. Easy money. Excuse me, listen to the Coda. Get exposure of, you know, to these cards at around $1. You don't want to miss out. And then miscellaneous Saurus, obviously you do have the Platinum Secrets at around $1 as well. And then this one did get the full treatment with the PCRs and the PURs and the secret rares, so no excuse to not get exposure to this card. I actually think that's a sign. The fact that this one didn't just stay in the nostalgia section and actually got PCRs and prismatics and PURs and ultras and secrets is because they're planning on unlocking this in the future, and they want the masses to be able to get the cheap versions, right? Easy.
Come on, man.
Easy, man. We see it from a mile away. They call me Ray Charles. No, I mean, that's the wrong comparison. But guys, make sure you guys get these cards, man. The game is that easy. We have Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. Dakota said, Jay, let's talk about this card. This card used to be free at $1.60. Card has been going parabolic at around 10 bones. Right now it's at about $8.50, so it's down 15% from the highs. But as you can see, this card has gone parabolic from the lows. So why do you think people should be focusing on this card?
I'm not 100% sure what they play this in, but I know I saw it at a bunch of deck lists, like casually, just like looking at. I was looking at the OCG reports.
Okay.
They're playing this card. It's just really easy to summon by sending 2 cards and Dispelling trap zones.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it went up. It spiked. It was like $1 at one point. I mean,
$1 and some change.
It went like 10x almost. Insane. And you know, there's a reason for people buying these cards. When people come in and grab a bunch of stuff, like, I'll see a card go up like this. I'm like, okay, they gotta have a reason for it.
Right.
Trying to get played next format, right? Now you gotta think about these Yu-Gi-Oh players out here. They hear like an announcement of support. You see this massive spike on the card.
Yes.
Then it slowly goes back down, and everybody forgets about it.
Literally.
Then the second the support comes out, everybody's like, they wait till the card triples in price from the last price, and they're like, you need 3 copies. And so I'm like, bro, if you would have picked this up a week ago, you would have had it at dollars.
Literally.
Look at Lunalight Perfume, man. Look at Lunalight Perfume. That card spiked up to $20, the QCR.
Wait, let me see.
When they announced the Lunalight support, look how much it is now. Probably like a couple bucks.
Perfume. Let's take a look right here. Quarter century. And yeah, this card is $5, barely. Not even
graph,
and look at that. It says 12s, but the high sale price is 20 bones, just like you said, right there.
Yeah, so that card spiked out of proportion, and then everybody forgot about it now. And when the Lunalight stuff comes out, you're gonna see these Billy Bobs at locals like,
literally,
I need 3 QCR perfumes.
Literally.
And I'm like, bro, like, pick them up now. If you're gonna play Lunalight, pick up this $4 card now, bro. Nobody's that broke. Come on, man.
Yes, listen to the code.
If you're able to pick up the card at 20s when they come out, pick them up now at 4s, bro.
Yeah,
like,
down 4x.
The card's gonna spike. It's gonna
literally.
spike. I'm telling you, this and Tiger.
Yeah,
Like, get your little like cards now, man.
Literally. We talked about this, at least mentioning it just briefly in yesterday's Market Watch, but I love the point that Dakota makes when that people see a card down 4x and they're like, oh yeah, I mean, who cares? It's down now, so that means I don't want it just like no one else. No, that's when you pick it up. You pick it up. You have to do the inverse of what the masses are doing. So great advice by Dakota with this card. And then let me just ask a quick question here. So what do you think someone should do if they want certain cards that they can't afford? Is vending a legit path to getting those cards over time? For example, in your example, maybe you like dinos, you like dragon rulers. Has vending permitted you, to be able to get access to those cards without feeling like, yo, I need to break my wallet, to get it, or or just pay my hard-earned money for it? Or actually the actual vending, just you pick those cards up, you build your deck, and you didn't even like notice it.
Well, most cards are free, to be honest with you. Like, for real, like, you make so much extra money off the stuff, like the profit margin, like you just can get whatever you need, for real. Like, I'll just come across I just casually have like the play sets of like all the mulch armies, and I don't even remember how I got them fully. I end up just picking them up. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like I broke my bank for these. Like, I just traded random stuff I had. Because like if you see behind me, I'll show you. I'll give you guys a quick little view.
Yeah. Look at all those binders. That's wild.
Look at that binder stack, man.
Oh, the binder
You got
tower.
inventory, right? But there's inventory, and when it comes to the inventory, it's like there are so many cards in these boxes where something like the Vanquish Soul stuff, I was paying quarters on them.
Man,
I don't know what the math is on that. I sold like 20 raisins at like 18. That's free money, man. That's super free money.
Look at it.
Like, that's unheard of, man. It's like a GameStop stock, bro.
Look at that, guys. Look at it. Look at
This
this.
crazy.
Look at buying this. The chart doesn't even want to appear, man. That's how high it went. It broke the chart right here. Look at that. Card was shekels, man. Low sale price of 19 cents. That's when Dakota was coming in at quarters. And then this card went up so high it broke the chart. Guys, insanity. The money. So imagine those multiples just being able to be like, okay, what card do I want now? You could pick it up. You could literally pick it up. It's like free money, just like Dakota said. If you vend right, and that's why his channel is going to be so valuable. You definitely can be picking these cards up and feeling like they're free. That's what happened to me. I was there with you at Providence. We were picking up, at least for me, the Odeon Core with CR Max Rarity. I was picking up those cards. Didn't feel a dent, man. My binder was just the same. It was great. I still had like the same value I had before, it feels like, because again, it's too easy. The money feels like it's free when you make sure that you trade for the right cards. You buy them on TCG Player at low prices. Once they go up, you move them and you trade them away and things of that nature. So the game is just that easy. Then we have Deep Prison, Dimensional Prison.
Oh, go ahead. You gotta pick up everything, man. Like when I say, like, don't forget about them little penny stocks, like the stuff that's at like 10 cents and the stuff in bulk. People forget about this stuff. They're like, Raisin, I only know Raisin like 6 months ago. I pick up the stacks. You gotta pick up everything that you ever think will be worth something, especially when they're cheap, because stuff like this happens and then you go like GameStop price craziness on them. So if you're vending, like I said, don't be scared to spend money. Spend money to make money, because these little things pay off in the long run, big time.
Literally, yeah. What Dakota wants to basically mean is that this is, again, like he just said, free money. It pays for all the other moves. Pays for all the other moves that he was making while picking up Soul Raisins. Not all of the moves are going to pan out, but all it takes is just one move like this to pay for all the other moves you made and multiples. The game is truly that easy, man. Great insight. And then we have Dimensional Prison. Again, this Platinum Secret Rare, you see the card was 389s, bump it back up to 5s. You do have a couple of play sets here, but it's quickly a $5 card. That's where you see the 167 listings. I mean, commons were pushing 5s before this reprint, and now you have Platinum Secret Rares at 5. So we can see this card at $10. No one's going to break a sweat. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, Edison, people need 3. It's a Platinum Secret, hard to get. So, I mean, Dimensional Prison, is it a card that people are forgetting about that you would be picking up as a vendor, and would this be easy money in the future, you think?
For sure, man. The Edison players, man, they are committed to that format.
Eddie
man.
Edison's?
They're so committed to that format. Okay. Like, if you saw at YCS Providence, man, people were clearing out my Edison binder. I ended up moving all of it.
I was there.
And they were swarming the binder. I had people in lines like, yeah, I need something from that. I need something from that.
Yeah.
And they were buying. I had like people buying them at retail. I was like, That's cool.
Yeah, literally,
Cool with me.
literally. Yeah. People
You know what I'm saying? Like,
basically trading them. They're like, yo, I need this, I need that. You know, can you hook me up with them? I'm an Edison, and I just need the card. You know, so again, he's like basically he has a binder. He trades it away. You know, for cards that he can move when he gets back home, or that he can trade on the spot, on the floor, guys. Again, trading a whole Edison binder. I saw it. I was there. I was like, this is wild. Like, who does these type of trades? And it was insane to see it in person. So again, that's just the power of vending in the sense. Again, vending is not always about buying and selling. That is what is usually referred to, but also trading the right cards for other right cards that you're picking up, guys. So again, it's insane. Basically, what Dakota is saying, guys, have your Edison binder. Just build an Edison binder, stock away Edison cards. Make sure you pick these cards up, because right now they're cheap. And once they age and get hard to get, the demand will still be there. So these are great cards to pick up. So before we get into a couple of more cards, I just wanted to talk just on that same note. Is vending truly that profitable overall? Can you make like a living off vending, or at the very least establish a side income from it? Like, what is the potential for the masses? People out there saying, you know, I want to start trading more. Trading is a lost art. You know, I could come back home and sell cards and make a profit. Like, what is your thought process when it comes to vending? If it's a livable wage per se, at least in the stage of your life, and or if not that, maybe not that aggressive, if you can make that extra cash on the side, because there's like a connotation, oh, vending, you know, they have a bunch of inventory, they don't really make a lot of money, and you know, this and that and the third. So what is your thought process with regards to that?
I mean, it's free money. Like, if you do it the right way, you know, you network with the right people. Like, if you have like the right environment for it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a lot of people you can buy from, you know, outside of locals and stuff, and just make those connections and all, that's great. I mean, just like I said, the connections are so important to make with people, because people consistently need money. They consistently want to sell cars. They don't need them. And on the trading aspect, you know, you get ahead of the curves, you know, just having this financial advice from this channel, from anywhere else, you know what I'm saying? It's like this you know, just getting ahead on the cars basically, and knowing what's going to be good later.
Exactly.
You know, you'll profit, like, you can profit so much on it, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like, you gotta have a way to sell it. So TCG player is really important, I think. But yeah, I mean, I don't have another job. This is all I'm doing right now. It's full time, and you can definitely make a living off of it for sure. And if it's just a side income, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people that do it that just make a little bit extra money for the, you know, for bills and stuff.
Yeah.
It's free though. It's free. Honestly, you just gotta streamline it, like Jay says about a lot of things.
Literally,
just streamline everything.
Just streamline and make it easy. Yep. Make it easy for yourself to trade for cards at events, trade for cards at locals, pick them up, come back home, you sell it, you make a profit, and then you recycle that purchasing power. So you're talking to the man himself, Dakota, that actually does this for a living currently. And then there's a bunch of us out here that we have it as side incomes and stuff. So it's doable, guys. You know, we have the Market Watch channel. Some people, oh, I don't sell cards, I only buy to save, and I just buy and I want to save with your advice. That's fine. You can use my advice, not official financial advice, by the way, but you can use it as you please. But again, we just want to open the thought process to you guys, to the masses, that it is a possibility. If you've been on the sidelines, man, I love Yu-Gi-Oh, it's my hobby, it's my passion, man, I feel like I'm spending too much, man, now we're moving from Rise-Yo and Fiendsmith that I paid $100 and Prime My Lordly Loads I FOMO'd in, and now we're gonna go into Draco Tales and then K9 with Vanquish Soul and you know, this and that and the third, and then I'm gonna need to overspend on that. Then you need to do something to compensate. You can vend in the sense of trade, and make sure you do it at a profit. You recycle that purchasing power, and then the game becomes that easy, guys. And then we have some old Eddie Edison cards. Again, Gladiator, Beast, Murmillo. We're gonna start with this one. You know, again, penny stocks in that sense. You know, Dakota wanted to focus on, you know, these rares and secrets. They're already high up there, but we're gonna focus on the commons. If you can see listings here, it's insane. I mean, you have a playset here that's 674s. I mean, I said penny stonks, they were penny stonks, but now this card is cleaned out. You have the foreign ones that Dakota loves here, so he has free money right here, 4 listings only. But yeah, there's only a playset left, and then, you know, Dakota's the whale, because he loves Gladiator Beast cards, you know, from Edison. And this is a turbo pack booster one. With cards like these, you only have a Gladiator's Assault rare that came out when we were kids, Turbo Pack 1, and then max rarity. So what do you do in these cases? What's going on? You know, do you have these? Do you pick these up? What should people be doing? Like, what's going on with these commons, man, right now?
I mean, these are just typical Edison cars, like this is just typical inventory, man. If you go to the Gladiators Assault one, you'll see more of what I'm talking about here.
Okay, all
Because
right.
the Turbo Pack one is a little bit hard to find, but you'll see these the rares, right?
Yeah.
This card is basically $4, man. $4 going up to $5, which is just crazy because it's like a common, and you'd be surprised, man. You buy collections, you buy bulk, and these are just sitting in there, man. It's hidden value. So it's like stuff like this is free. You throw in an Edison binder, then you get one of the Edison Eddies come up, and they want Auto Gladiator stuff, man.
Yeah.
And you'll see a similar thing with the other Gladiator beasts that haven't been reprinted in a while. Like Laquari was like this before, Bestiari, but they dropped because they got the reprints. But if you see like Darius and Aquest, they only have 2 printings.
Insane.
You know what I'm saying? Like you look at these, it's like these could be overlooked in bulk, is what I'm saying. You could go to your local car shop and look through their bulk. They might have this stuff sitting there for cheap. There's so many car shops I go to, man, because they have this type of stuff in their bulk. You know, you gotta look out for the deals, because my philosophy is like I always know more to you. That's my mindset when I'm going in. Like I always will bank on the fact that I know more than the store.
Knowledge,
right?
literally.
Because the store, they got to worry about their store. They got to worry about everything that's going on there, employees, whatever. Yeah. I'm looking at like I go through the cards, man. Strictly like a Quest is a $4 card.
That's
like,
true. Look at that.
If I see that in bulk, man, I'm grabbing all of them. Because it's free money. You know what I'm saying? Like the one vendor at YCS Providence, man. I was there like 10 times, bro. You saw me over there. I was there like literally like 10 times.
Spent the whole weekend there, bro.
I was like, they kept restocking. I was like, let me see. They had deals left and right. I cleaned them out, man. I got stacks in here.
You see, man?
I still got remnants. I still got remnants in here.
Remnants, man. Cardboard, the brown.
They had like these colored sleeves, right? Like the price colored sleeves.
Yeah.
$2 for a secret Super Poly.
You see? Easy. That's $5 down the line.
Like,
yeah, that's $5 down the line.
All types of stuff, man. All types of stuff. Like I have bought PCR strikes at 3s. They went up to like 15s at the event. I was offering those. Like it's free money, man. You just got to stay informed. You get ahead of the curve, and you're over there.
You see, education, guys. That's why we're here. That's why I love bringing Dakota on, because he's on point, man. I've seen the man working in person, you know, making the right trades, the right deals, and if he buys or sells cards, always goes to the vendors, you know, where it makes sense, guys. So again, you just got to know how to play the room. You know, you got to know, you know, how to move around at these events in the sense of being able to, you know, within the rules, trade with the right people and or go to the vendors to buy or sell cards and make it happen. Because again, it's all about information, man. You go to your locals, you never know, man. Like he said, bulk, they're like, oh, those cards are old. Gladiator Beast, that's cheap, a quarter. Then you're buying quarter cards at 5 bones. You move them the same day and you recycle your purchasing power that way. So these old cards, just an example. We're using Gladiator Beast as an Eddie Edison card. You know, it's a fan favorite for Dakota. So he used a great example with these cards. And then Gladiator Beast actually got new support, you know, so definitely cards to keep in mind. And now moving on to another question. Do you think it's easier or harder to vend now compared to 5 or 10 years ago, and why?
Well, it's definitely easier. It's definitely was easier to trade 10 years ago, right?
Okay.
Like I haven't been like vending for that long, so I've only been doing this for about like 25 years, since like 2020, right before the pandemic. But I've been trading for years and years and years, and before it was like the same thing, man. Like you could just trade for like nothing. You trade nothing for everything. Like my friend, man, I watched him in like, I don't know what year it was, probably 2016, 2017.
Crazy.
He cleaned his guy's entire binder out and gave him like 10 cards.
That's
and it wasn't even nothing crazy. It was just like, hey, would you do this for this? And the guy was like, yeah, sure. And I watched that, and I was standing there with like all of my friends. We watched it. We were like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So that was like the business model before, is just like, you know, like basically trying to get over on people. It was kind of like a very, you know, janky, and it wasn't like a clean system.
Right,
now, you know, you got percentages and stuff. Like it works now. Everybody knows their prices of cars. So vending before probably was crazy. I don't know. Yeah. It was probably free. To be honest with you, it was probably free.
And you make a great point.
You can buy stuff whatever you want.
That I wanted to ask you. So that's where the negative connotation comes from, you think, from the past? Just those crazy times where there wasn't TCG player, you know, everything was willy-nilly, you know, give me that blue eyes for this crappy common. And like now everyone is more informed in a sense. So that's why you believe it's gotten better now, because more people are informed, is more of an even playing field in that sense, right?
Yeah, it's better in a sense of like, you know, people aren't getting over on each other as easy. and you're not really trying to do that. And obviously at the time I was in like high school, so I was just trading with people. Like it wasn't like a job, but it was like, yo, you know, we go to a regional, we trade like crazy and throw like a couple dollars on top or something, or whatever back in the day. But now it's like everything has to be by the books because everybody knows what the cars are worth. So like vending probably was easier before. Now it's harder to be a scumbag, but it, you know, it's still possible, obviously. But it's just two very different times. It's like TCG player and pre-TCG player. Before, nobody knew about it. When they didn't know about it, you know, you were at a huge advantage. Now everybody knows at it, and it creates these like little like issues sometimes too with people knowing the prices of cards, because it especially in like trades I've seen before, is like people could like haggle over something that's not even that deep. Like they'll be like, yeah, like I need like a few dollars more, and it's like, bro, like just do this for this. Like if somebody wanted like a $3 card from me, and I only saw like $1 worth of value, like, bro, just take it. It's not that deep.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I don't know like when this started, but some people are like impossible to do deals with, man. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but like it's frustrating.
I say yes because I get it. It happens all the time. Like it's all about, and we're talking about it from the perspective of haggling. You know, like knowing your prices is good. Like knowing the value of your cards is great. That's the whole point of being educated. We're just talking about, and it could be both ways. Maybe you want a card that's 3, you know, and I want a card that's 2. You know, haggling for that dollar. You know, that's what we're talking about here. It's not that you knowing your cards is bad. No, that's great. I know my cards. You know your cards. We know the prices. That's fine. But you know, I've seen $100 deals stop for a $5 card. Like I've seen it in person. They're like, nah, man, we $5 out. You know, nah, forget it, man. And you're like, what? Like, yo, if the value is $100 and it is 95, both ways, whatever. If it's me missing 5 or you're missing 5, like, bro, like, come on, work with your boy, you know, to get the trade done in the sense of value. So that's where Dakota's coming from. So you know that does add an interesting element when it comes to trading.
Definitely the importance of making you know, relationships with people, because if I got somebody I did business with 1,000,000 times, like, all right, bro, like that's fine, like, you know what I'm saying? But then you meet these like one-off people that are just like, I don't want to do business with you, bro. Like you just wasted 20 minutes of my time for $2.
That's rough.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, like some people that you're cool with, you have a good relationship, like, yeah, bro,
I've seen
it's an extra $2. Don't worry about it. Like
I've seen
it's just making those relationships are important.
Yeah, I've seen it. So that's a great point. And, you know, moving on to the next 2 cards here, we have Death Croaking. Who's looking at this? Dakota is. And we have Death Frog here as well. The Medi Edisons don't play. What is this? I love it. You got singing frogs here, bro? Like, what's going on? You got to love it, man. You got to, I'll just let you take this one over. Why are we talking about singing frogs here? What a way to end it towards the latter part of this market watch. What is going on with these froggies, bro? Let's hear it, bro. Let's hear it.
I was originally looking at Death Frog, and if you go to Death Frog, that card is like $5, and I'm like,
that's wild. What? No way.
Yeah, like I was just confused at like why this card was $5. And I realized, okay, this only has like basically one printing and like a Dark Revelation printing. And it's like, why? Like, why has this card only been printed one time? I feel like this was in a speed duel or something. I don't know why, but yeah, apparently people play it in Edison.
Yeah.
The Death Croaking thing, I could have sworn I might have been looking at something wrong on the other one, but the other one's like $2 for some reason. I didn't see the 15-cent one before.
Yeah,
but,
no. It's because this one, again, those are the unlivs. But if you filter this by first ed, let's see, is it a quarter? Yeah, it is. I mean, but you have a couple, and then you do have some walls. But it quickly goes to 50 cents, guys. But yeah, you probably saw, you know, the Dark Revelation one, because it's harder to get. It's a DR4 card. But I loved it, bro. We got to talk about 3 singing frogs for no reason. You gotta love it, bro. You just got to. Hey, this artwork is fire. When is the holographic one coming, Konami? But on that note, I just wanted to ask you, so what would make you actually trust a Yu-Gi-Oh vendor or seller? What signals make you feel like this person is legit?
Well, I mean, there's definitely like people that you have multiple interactions with, like every event, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who's cool, somebody like, you know what I'm saying, who like I said, wants to make relationships with you, isn't just like closed off. Like you can kind of get a feel for somebody, like when you start doing business with them, like they might sit down, they might be all like uptight and stuff, and just like they act like they run the world because they have like expensive cars in their binder. You know what I'm saying? It's like a very closed off like type attitude. Like it instantly gives me like a bad feeling. I'm like, I don't I don't really want to do business with the guy. He just gives me a
I've
bad
been
vibe.
there. Yeah, it's all about the energy. So that's the focus, guys. It's all about the energy. And you learn how to read people's energy, you know, when you come up to them. And it's fine. You know, if they don't want to trade, they don't want to, that's okay, you know. So that's definitely a great point. And on that note of the art of negotiation, essentially, or the art of vending, as we'll call it, you know, if you could start vending Yu-Gi-Oh cards tomorrow, if there's someone out there that wants to start Yu-Gi-Oh vending tomorrow, or trading per se, like focusing more on that, what's the one thing, and we already mentioned get yourself on TCG Player, but just in general, what's the one thing that you'd want to know or keep in mind first, even before you ever make your first sale, just in the sense of the mindset, the thought process? You gave great advice today, like don't be scared of spending money, you know, focus on TCG Player. Essentially, if there's a last thought process that you have to the world of vending, the connotation that comes to it, the pressure that you may feel like, damn, I'm gonna start vending now at locals, they're gonna see me as a shark and this and that and the third, like the perception and things of that nature, what's the one thing that you believe that you'd want to know beforehand, or that you should keep in mind entering this space of the art of vending?
Subscribe to Fresh Off the Press. No, yeah, but for real, do that. But the main thing I would say is, like, and I'm gonna say it again, like I said earlier, do not be afraid to spend money.
Right.
Scared money don't make money. If you go in and you're like, I'm only gonna spend $1, guess what? You're only gonna make $1.25 or $1.30 or something. You're not gonna make much, right? If I spend $1,000, you better believe I'm gonna make $500. You know what I'm saying? From that standpoint, like that's the idea.
Okay,
right,
just
like
to
however
give you an
you
idea.
do it, like think the percentages, right? Think the percentage. You get 85% on TCG Player. You know what I'm saying? Like you make those connections, you do business with people. Say you pay 65-70%, you're gonna make 20-25%, 15-25%, somewhere in that range, right?
Adds up.
But you can't be afraid to spend money, because think about this: every single card you buy, it gives you that percentage, right? Every sale that goes on TCG Player, you know what I'm saying? So you cannot be afraid to spend money, right? Like if somebody has a collection that you want to buy, like buy it. Like don't, you know, scared money don't make money, right? Don't second guess it. Pay the price you want to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like get the best deal you can, obviously, but don't be afraid to spend money, man. Don't be a punk.
Yeah, literally.
$1,000, man. Money talks.
You couldn't say it any better, guys. And I mean, to end it on that note, I've seen the man do it in person. You know, I've learned so much from Dakota. We've interacted 3-4 times, whatever it is, going to Philly regionals at YCS Providence. I've seen this man, you know, trade for binders. You know, trade for binders, making it happen. Vice versa, people picking up binders from him, or he picking up binders, just trading cards left and right. You know, depending on the value in those situations. Just insane what you can do in the Yu-Gi-Oh space when you get dedicated and you put hard work into actually making it at least a side income. Again, you go to events, you trade, you follow the rules, you do things as, you know, within the rules, everything is fine. You trade cardboard for cardboard, you come home, you take advantage of those percentages. And lastly, guys, I don't know why people find it, I don't know why, this is just my opinion, like, you know, people have issues with other people making a living. You know, like if people want to sell spreadsheets, good for them. If people want to, you know, vend at a percentage, good for them. As long as there's no scamming, scummy attitude, greed, or undercutting, or things of that nature, like, okay, this spreadsheet's supposed to promise this, but you're really getting that, things of that nature, I understand. But at the end of the day, these are all tools. Spreadsheets are tools when it comes to vending. If the green is there at a percentage, you make that final decision. I have nothing wrong with people wanting to make a living out there. At the end of the day, we all have a choice. That's what I want to end it with, guys. We all have a choice. If you want to go up to a vendor, you need to know what it entails, because they're making a living out of it, you know, via trading for the right cards, things of that nature. It's your choice to go to them or not. It's perfectly fine. No one's forced to trade these cards or to go up to vendors or vice versa, guys. It's all about freedom. There's freedom of people being able to make a living off it, and people, you know, needing that money at that time, you know, that green, to make things happen in their own personal lives. So on that note, I don't know if you have any last thoughts with regards to what I just stated, Dakota, before we get out of here pretty soon.
Yeah, so just going off what you said about the, you know, like people going to a vendor, you got to think of it like we're basically doing the work for you when you think about it, right? Like it's basically the same as you giving me a stack of cards and selling them for you and then just taking my 20% cut, right? Because if you were to go and you had a whole binder full of cards, right? You would have to find a person that actually wanted each of those cards that's going to pay 85%.
Damn.
You don't have a TCG Player account? you don't have the materials.
Dang.
So how you sell them online? You know what I'm saying? Like that 20% is worth way more of your time because you can't sell them. You know what I'm saying? It would take you so much longer. We buy everything, like, you know, come outside of the
right.
local
Within the rules.
you know what I'm saying?
Rules,
Like,
of course.
If you want to off your collection, right? You know, you meet up outside, you off the whole collection, right? I mean, the thing is, you're gonna get way more money for the time that you spent, right? If you think about it, right? Like all that time, if you had 1,000 cars and you had to sell all 1,000 of them cars, it's gonna take you a very long time to do that. That's why the percentage game is better, because you know you're selling all of it at once, and it's stuff that some people don't even want.
Is one
word.
What I'm saying? One word, Dakota: convenience. That's why the percentage is there. It's convenience, bro. If you need to move 1,000 cards, I'm your guy at a percentage. You know, there are vendors out there, things of that nature. No one's forced to do it. To each their own. We're gonna leave it on that note. You know, it's been a pleasure. We're over an hour in. We have my guy Dakota. Guys, you have to, man. The man is preaching. He has a passion for vending, but not just vending, educating the masses, coming soon, and flipping that mindset, guys. You need to make sure you subscribe to my guy right here. Dakota's amazing, member of the channel. Love having members on in this, feature right here, members feature, fresh feature, and it's been a pleasure, man. So again, shout out to Team Crystal Chaos, guys. Link in the description down below. Make sure you subscribe. This is my guy. Can't wait to go to Philly in a week or two, and we're gonna run them floors and have a good time, at the event. Is always exciting, guys. So, any last thoughts? Any shout outs, before we get on out of here?
I guess, you could shout out my team that I'm on, Team Takeover. That's the other team. It's not Team Crystal Chaos. That's a whole other thing. But,
hop on the channel.
Hop
on the channel. He's going to give an explanation. Yeah, for sure.
They got another channel that if you want to link, but that's a whole other thing. But
right.
Team Takeover. Check out the YouTube channel.
All right.
Shout out my locals, Garden of Earthly Delights on Bustleton Avenue in Philly.
Okay.
Check them out. We get big tournaments every week. So just that's pretty much it, man. But I appreciate you having me on, man. It was a blast.
For sure. It was. And this is just the beginning for you and your journey with your channel. It was the first time, but definitely not the last. And I look forward to next time. So guys, on that note, guys, I just wanted to thank you so much for your time, for your support, for your attention. Stay fresh.